Interactive media has changed, as has its production, publicity, and proliferation. Where once the medium of games was relatively small, it has rapidly grown in size with the advancement of technology. AAA games are made larger and prettier than ever, to an unsustainable degree, and indie games are now a far more common and creative alternative. The middle market has all but disappeared amidst these changes. You're either small and desperate to break into the industry, or so massive and recognizable that you can't afford to fail. So how do you break into the industry? How do you ensure success if you're the little guy? Well, since you can't spend millions of dollars on ads and viral marketing campaigns, your best bet is word of mouth. With the increasingly volatile and unstable nature of social media, wherein one now needs to pay to even be seen, one of your best bets is streamers. Streamers, and to a lesser extent, reviewers. You give a streamer your game in the hopes that they'll demonstrate it to their audience, said audience will find the gameplay compelling, and they'll purchase your product. It's pretty simple stuff. But streaming and general content creation are distinctly not traditional methods of engagement. Playing a game for an audience of hundreds is very far removed from directly experiencing the art at hand. The streamer has to keep everyone entertained, has to find insightful commentary about the game they're demonstrating, and has to do it in real time. There's a lot of pressure there, all at once, especially for our relatively simple, pattern-seeking minds. As a result, any games which are complex, nuanced, educational, rich in story, or particularly unusual, they're far less likely to make good streaming material. If a streamer is over-focused on a game's design, or forced to think deeply for long periods about its mechanics or setting, they may lose their tempo, and may lose viewer engagement as a result. In the overstimulated modern world, video games, even indie ones, can't afford to be too ponderous, methodical, or experimental unless they've also got an easily digestible hook. This, unfortunately, also means that many games are fundamentally altered to better appeal to streamers and their distracted, high-energy ecosystem. Integral elements of game design or crucial story beats may be changed or replaced altogether. Maybe a particular mechanic required some practice, so now instead it's been simplified, or a certain plot twist or bit of foreshadowing begs for an active, attentive mind, so now instead the characters just repeat it several times to make absolutely sure you caught it. Games are being made for people who can't provide their full attention, which is a rather troubling thing given the nature of the medium. Games are interactive. Their beauty lies in their demand for active engagement. This isn't only a problem with streaming, of course. Games in general are being seen more regularly as distractions across the board, rather than beautiful works of interactive art. These are entire digital worlds to explore, but we, and our culture, readily treat them as disposable sources of cheap escapism. There is no simple fix for this, but we can at least individually work to mitigate the damage. Remember that gameplay you see on stream isn't always, or even usually, accurate. Remember that more effort went into the design and scripting of these games than first appears, and do your best to consider the art you consume from multiple perspectives and environments. Media literacy requires that we think actively about all our consumption. And please don't take this as a slight against streamers or general content creators. I create content in relation to artistic media quite often. I've streamed before, I plan to stream even more, and people sharing art in this way is inevitable. But it is still nonetheless important to recall that the art is made to be art. It's not simply made for us to engage with superficially.